Danny Buchan, SYNETIQ BMW, Bennetts PSP rider. Sounds pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah, factory BMW rider.
Oh, factory BMW rider, yeah. Because we're here today in, well, your new office. You've come a long way since club racing days, haven't you?
Yeah, it's good. It's always funny because you never sort of take time to appreciate where you've come from and where you started in your career, or what. Like, there was never really a goal. Like, I remember sort of like walking up and down the garages at BSB when I was like a lot younger, but never sort of envisioned that I would be in one of them teams. And just sort of as the years go by, you sort of the competitiveness takes over, and you end up getting to the kind of the top of where you want to be. So. And
I've got to ask, because you were with your previous manufacturer, I think since 2008, you were almost the poster boy for Team Green Racing. What brought about the move? Was it something you just wanted a new challenge in your career? Yeah,
I just felt like I got to the point where I wanted to change, and I wanted the change, and there was sort of no hard feelings. I got this opportunity and I took it, and yeah, it's exciting. It's different. Obviously, everything's different, and I'm just now gearing up, and everything's different apart from the off season. It's so monotonous, the training and the diet and everything. Yeah, it gets to that point, and obviously that's been extended again now, so it means more training. But no, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm excited with the release of the M1000RR. Obviously, BMW mean business, and it's nice for them to put their faith into myself to obviously try and get some results in BSB.
Is this the first time you've seen it in the flesh today?
Yeah, it's the first time I've seen it in the flesh today. First time I've sat on it today. The closer we get now to the first test, the more the excitement's building. Because when you first sign a deal, obviously you've got so much time from when you get to first ride the bike, and so that's obviously there's this kind of like a stagnant period really. But now obviously with what we're doing today and sort of leading up to the BSB test, the excitement's growing.
And these are wings. You haven't had these before, have you? Have you been jealous of the other riders when they've had them, and now you've actually got them yourself? Yeah,
well, that's always been my excuse, is everyone else has got wings. So now I've got some, I can't make any excuses. But no, in all seriousness, I think the BSB tracks, I think we're going to benefit from having those. As we said off camera earlier, like the tracks like onto the GP at Brands Hatch, over the crest at Alton Park, and tracks like that, there's going to definitely be some advantages, and hopefully we can make full use of those and get her on the box.
Because I think Tom Sykes said in testing, actually, these wings were they took half a second off the lap time, which is nice to have in your back pocket when you come into, like you say, some of the more demanding circuits on the calendar.
Definitely. I mean, any improvement like that is going to be great. Yeah, that's just part of the excitement, like obviously it's a whole new bike for me. Everything about it is new. It's a new bike for BMW, for the team, for Taz Racing, and yeah, I mean, everyone's excited. The whole team's kind of excited now to get going, and just waiting now for the 28th of April, my birthday, the first day I get to ride it.
That'll be some birthday present. How do you go about testing a completely new bike? Because you haven't even ridden a previous version of the BMW, have you? So you've literally got a clear playing field to go from.
You just start at scratch really. The guys, the mechanics and the crew chief will sort of get a bit of an understanding of how I like the bike to feel from a chassis standpoint, and then just literally start riding it. And the faster you get, the more problems you get with regards to setting the suspension up in the chassis, and then you just fine tune it, and that's where you end up with your base setting really. And you kind of want a good base setting to start from every circuit. Obviously, being with another manufacturer previously, I had a good base setting that I knew everywhere. So we just have to find the sweet spot with the BMW and go from there. Yeah, and it's not too stressful. I'm quite relaxed in how I ride a bike. I'm not too sort of into the real fine tune of it. So yeah, just need to get on it now and get on it and ride it.
It's a thing of beauty, isn't it? I mean, I think this is the competition pack. It's like £35,000 worth of kit. When you go out on it, do you comprehend how much these bikes are worth? You've got to ride them to the absolute limit, haven't you?
You can't think about that. I don't think the team bosses think about that either. I don't think anyone thinks about it, just because, obviously, you are riding these motorcycles to the absolute limit of what they can do. And it was funny, I was riding pit bikes the other day, and I was trying to find the limit on the pit bike, and I was more worried about finding the limit on the pit bike than I was on one of these. And you don't realise, when a sort of a track day rider says, "Oh God, how'd you get to the limit on these?" You don't realise, you can't say it, you can't. You just have to feel it. And everything's going to be different with it. Obviously it's a different motorcycle completely. Obviously the wings are going to create more downforce on the brakes, things like that. So just going to be adapting, but.
Because I was looking at the spec yesterday, and it's got some incredible figures on it. BMW really means some business with this bike. But did you know it's got hill start? So when you go to...
That's got cruise control.
It's got heated grips, but I thought hill start, brilliant for like Brands Hatch
Yeah.
when it's the start grid's on the slant, and also at Cadwell Park. You know, if you stall it at the bottom of the mountain,
Get
you'll
off
be
it,
well
mate.
away.
Jump off it. Yeah.
No, but it's. I think we worked out there's nine of these bikes on the grid this year.
Yeah.
If you can, I guess if you're top BMW, you're almost in the showdown. There's a lot of bikes that mean business on the grid this year, isn't there?
Yeah, and I think from a bike standpoint, you know, like years ago, there was always one or two bikes that was a lot better than the rest. And with BSB and the rules and regulations, all the bikes are so similar. And you can never sit there at the start of the year and say, oh, he's going to be there. Because I think it was the year Foggy was on the Ducati, everyone was on them in the end. And it's not like that now with BSB. Like every bike can compete. And at Elton Park last year, it was like the 3 different bikes that were on the first 3. They were just strong in different parts of the track, so you couldn't overtake because he was all strong everywhere. It was a really it was really equal, and I feel like that's where it's at now. But BMW mean business. Like they've brought this bike out to win races, and hopefully with me, Andrew, obviously like Van der Mark and Tom in World Superbikes, that's what they can do. And like you say, my job's there to be winning races, not just being the first BMW over the line. So that's ultimately the goal. You
touched on it there, like BMW mean business in World Superbikes as well. They've got a satellite team, they've got the factory team. There's a progression there as well from BSB now. They're looking in this paddock for future talent. Is that something that will interest you? Is that something that you can see yourself going on to? Yeah, I mean, I would love to obviously have a successful year with BMW, and whether that's the first 2 years or first year, and then get the opportunity to go into the world team, that would be amazing. Anything like that. I mean, the goal as a young, like obviously when you're aspiring, is to be a world superbike rider. Yeah. Obviously being a world champion would be another story, like beating Scott and beating Johnny and things like that. But yeah, I don't ever see my career going as far as GP just because of my size, and I don't think there's the opportunity there. But world superbikes, I think definitely the opportunity. I'm only 27, so if everything, all the stars align and the results are good, I don't think there's no reason why I couldn't go. Because you're a factory rider now, but I don't know if people at home know, but that's not your full-time job. You run your own business. You're like a full-time dad. Does that give you some sort of perspective in your racing? Do you feel that gives you an advantage sometimes, that you've got all these other commitments outside of racing that kind of just come a race weekend, it gives you a bit of better like perspective? Yeah, well, I was always a bit sceptical, really, because I first went professional in 2015 and I got paid to sit at home effectively. And for the first 2 weeks, obviously paid to sit at home, I mean, I was still training, but for the first 2 weeks it was brilliant. I loved it, but then I got to the point where I was like, I need something else. I can't do this, like I'm bored. Like all my friends where I live work and have jobs, and if I lived in the Midlands, like near Jake, it might be a bit different, but it's not. And so yeah, I always business interests me, I always into business, and that takes, I used to be I used to get like really over-focused on this job, and I think that used to cause me some problems with it, you know, like with like pressure maybe and a bit of stress with it. And because I'm focused in other areas of my life now as well, obviously having the kids as well, yeah, I mean, I turn up race weekend more relaxed. And new calendar was out today. Looks to be, you know, a more compact season, 3 races a weekend. How's your mindset sort of approaching that? It's going to be busy. You're going to have to strap yourself in for quite a ride. It's going to be busy. Yeah, it's going to be busy. I think my concerns are more for the team, not for myself. You know, I'm physically prepared now. Right now, I can go and be okay for that. But it's more like the team side of things. Like obviously, having enough spares for a back-to-back weekend, because you don't know, you're on the bike a lot. You're doing a lot of laps, and there's a lot of chances of crashing. Even in practice and qualifying, you're on the limit all the time. So. Yeah, I think from that side of things, but obviously the guys like Taz and like obviously SYNETIQ BMW are professional, and they know they've been doing it long enough to know what they need. So, but yeah, like just for them really, like obviously the time away from their family and stuff like that. You know, it's going to be busy, but it's the job. We've got to just pull our socks up and get on with it. Yeah, I mean it's going to be great to have the spectators there. That's going to be very strange going from last year. Yeah. Obviously, like last year, was you sort of crashed and you're on your own. Like, normally the sort of the cheer of the crowd like gets you a bit over that. But I'm just looking forward to getting back to racing again and starting to get into that way of life again. How are you finding the new team? Are you getting along with Andrew? Have you spoke to him? Yeah. So is there a TAS WhatsApp group where you? Yeah, no, not really. No, I flew over there a few times and just sort of like met met Philip and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I met my crew chief, and yeah, I mean they're very welcoming. They're very excited about the team's lineup. They said obviously with the release of the new bike and me and Andrew sort of like
spearheading it as such, it's good. We both have our strong points and we both have our weak points, I guess, and hopefully we can just just have obviously more strong results than weak results and go from there. You know, I'm quite experienced now. I'm 27 now, and I feel like I'm old, but I kind of know where I want the bike to be and how I want the bike to feel. So hopefully that with a new bike and the new team can get us somewhere near the front. You know, dream weekend at Alton Park would be on the podium first weekend with the M1000. That would be fantastic.
Brilliant. Well, we can't wait to watch. Can't wait to get going. All the best this season.
Thank you.